Yo, what is up guys? Del Boy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, Hamzah Sheeraz decimates Edgar Berlanga in 5 rounds in New York City to apparently become the WBC mandatory challenger. Of course, Canelo Alvarez holds that title. So yeah, I mean, what can I say about this fight? Edgar Berlanga, I think, at this point in time, should retire. Had 2 big paydays against Shiraz and Canelo Alvarez. You know, destroyed in this fight with Shiraz. Didn't really come to win against Canelo. And, you know, I've seen Edgar Berlanga from early on when he was getting those first round knockouts. And I see a fighter who has made no improvements whatsoever. Stayed the same throughout his career. And where does he go from here, really? Like, yeah, he's got a name, he could be fed to people, but he's never going to launch a successful comeback. I don't think he's ever going to improve. He doesn't have the attitude. Quite frankly, he doesn't have the talent. And, you know, he's just a very limited fighter. You know, he's a strong kid. He's got a little bit of power, but that's really it. There's very little in the way of skills there, and I think his ceiling is. I think his ceiling's already been met, and you know, the room in which this ceiling is a room for midgets. You know, so yeah, man, I think Berlanga should retire. Honestly, he got his ass whooped tonight or last night. He got his ass whooped. Shiraz, on the other hand, listen, Shiraz is what he is. He's a big, tall guy, and relies on that size a lot. But, you know, you stand in front of Shiraz, Shiraz can punch. One thing about Shiraz I will give him credit for is he's got decent punch technique. He turns his shots over well, whether that be with his straight right, his left hook, his uppercut. He can pierce that jab through with nice power, nice force. Punch technique-wise, Shiraz has always been a pretty good fighter. You know, there's other aspects about Shiraz that I'm not quite sold on, and you know, those questions will, I'm sure, be answered in the coming fights. But you know, Berlanga did exactly that. He stood in front of a guy who could punch, who was taller, longer, faster than him, more offensively dynamic, and Berlanga just stood in front of this dude, offering no real form of defense. Again, porous guard, head was never off the line. Every bit of Berlanga's work looked forced. And for me, it looked like he was fighting, trying to land that one perfect shot. You know, he tried in the first 2-3 rounds, I guess. Berlanga, primarily leading with his left hook, sometimes looking for the left hook right hand. He caught Shiraz a couple of times. Shiraz took these shots well. But, you know, Shiraz, for the most part, was covering up okay. Picking his own shots, showing a greater punch variety than Edgar Berlanga. And you could tell when both guys were throwing their shots that you know, Shiraz's punches looked far more venomous, quicker, more explosive, just crisper. And it just seemed very early on like it was a moment of time before Berlanga would walk into something, and he did in round 4. Walked into a left hook that kind of momentarily buzzed Berlanga, and Shiraz came back with a combination which was like a left-right, which dropped Edgar Berlanga. Berlanga tried to give it the old showboating. He was clapping his hands when he was on the ground, you know, trying to insinuate that he wasn't hurt, but it looked a heavy knockdown. But he beat the count, and he tried to continue fighting. Shiraz jumped on him. Berlanga tried to throw a couple of shots back, but he was kind of unsteady. Berlanga drops him again with a left hook, right hand combination. Once again, Berlanga goes down. Claps, you know, trying to insinuate he wasn't hurt. He was, but he beats the count again. Round 5, last round of the fight. You know, Shiraz comes out towards the start of round 5, right at the start. Just walks down Berlanga, high guard, and kind of backs up Berlanga towards the corner. He lands a left hand, right hand, which kind of really does force Berlanga back, and then he lands one more left hook, and it kind of makes Berlanga go down to his haunches, like his hand touches the canvas, rocked by that shot, and the referee had seen enough by that point, and he waved it off. So yeah, listen, going into this fight, I was very unsold on Shiraz due to the Adames fight, due to a couple of other things I've seen in his career. But in this bout, listen, he did better than I expected. I thought he would maybe ship a few more shots. I thought he would win. I picked him to win. But I just thought he would have a couple more scary moments, I guess I would say. But listen, he bossed this fight. He dominated it. But Berlanga, listen, Berlanga is very limited, isn't he? He's very limited. But listen, he got the job done, Shiraz. We'll see where he goes from here. We'll see where he goes from here. I would like to see him fight a guy like Christian Mbili. Somebody along those lines. I think that would be a great fight. I really do. Because he's not going to get the Canelo Alvarez fight next, is he? I think the Christian Mbili fight would make a lot of sense. I think it'll be a fun fight. And yeah, that's all I can really say on it. As for Berlanga, retire. But anyway, Beanie Guy Delboy, share your thoughts below. Peace.